Hi, welcome back to our Bible study, and we are on Revelation chapter 15. So we are really pushing our way through. We're getting a lot closer to the end. So Revelation chapter 15 is it's the end of the prelude, and we're about to jump back into our bowl. So remember, we had our seven signs, our seven seals, and our seventh seal, when it was broken, brought out seven trumpets, and then our seventh trumpet hadn't blown yet. So our seventh trumpet, when it does blow, is going to bring out our bowls. We don't have that yet. We had a really long kind of prelude, intermission type thing, where we just stopped for a second and where we were going through the timeline and explained some different characters who are going to be happening. We learned about the two witnesses. We learned about the Antichrist. We learned about the false prophet. We learned about Satan. We learned about Israel. We learned about Jesus. And then in our last chapter, we kind of got a little bit of a glimpse of the very, very end, what's going to happen at the very end. And now we're kind of starting to jump back in to where we were before that. So it starts off here, the very beginning. It says, "Then I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous." So this chapter 15, is, as we can see, it's going to be very symbolic because it says, "I saw a sign in heaven." That is your clue that it's going to be symbolic. Remember, a lot of things in Revelation are literal, and we should take them literally. And then a lot of things in Revelation are symbolic. And we can see which ones are symbolic. It usually says right before it, "And then I saw a sign." So you know that's going to be symbolic. I want you guys to picture as you're reading through chapter 15. And by the way, it's a super short chapter, so you'll read it very easily. But I want you to picture like you're sitting and you're watching a play. And you just got back from an intermission, okay, and the stage, the curtains open, and then you see this scene, all right? So the scene starts off with, there's a river that looks like it's a mix of glass and fire. So, so you picture this beautiful river, but you look at the river, is it water, or is that glass, or is that fire? So that is what you're picturing. And then we see some people who are singing. So these are people who have been killed by the beast. So these are Christians who have been martyred, and they are standing and they are singing. And they sing two songs. They sing a song of Moses, and they sing a song of the Lamb. We don't have the words to the song of Moses, but we do have the words to the song of the Lamb. And I'm going to read that for you right here. Verse 3 and 4. "Great and marvelous are your works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are your ways, O King of the saints. Who shall not fear you, O Lord, and glorify your name? For you alone are holy. For all nations shall come and worship before you, and your judgments have been manifested." All right, and they're playing a harp and they're singing the song. So this is where we kind of, some people get, oh, heaven is going to be boring. We're going to all sit on the cloud and play a harp, and that is taken from this area of the Bible, Revelation. But as you can see, it's not boring. So this scene is not just a cloud with a bunch of people sitting on it playing the harp. This is a choir of men and women, and probably children as well, who have been killed because they were Christians, okay? And they are singing, and there's also harps playing, and they're singing the song. And they're, picture a stage, and then this river that's like fiery glass. And after that happens, after they sing the song, then we see the temple is opened. So we see, if you look at the stage, then you see like the temple doors open. And out comes angels. And they have pure white clothes, and their chest has golden bands, and each of the angels are given a bowl. All right, so you're picturing this huge choir and the harps, and then the temple doors open, and out come these angels. And then each of the angels are given a bowl, and then smoke comes and fills up the whole scene. And then that is where the chapter ends. So you're watching a scene unfold. You come back from intermission, you sit down, you watch the scene. And what you're going to get from watching the scene is, whoa, something really, really big is about to happen. And yes, chapter 16, something really, really big does happen. So as you're reading chapter 15, remember I said at the very beginning of this Bible study that really what Revelation is a book of worship. Chapter 15 is a really good example of that. So there's a really big section here. It shows you the words that they're singing and the worship that they're doing of the Lamb, which is Jesus. And the people worshiping are the Christians who have been killed for their faith. So go ahead, jump into chapter 15, read it. If you have a little bit of extra time, if you like memorizing, I would suggest memorizing verses 3 and 4 because they're really great verses. And you'll actually find, as you listen to a lot of worship music, Christian worship music, that a lot of these words show up in a lot of our music. It's really cool. All right, I'm Laura Lee Siemens. You're watching the Revelation study, Bible study. We just did Revelation chapter 15.